Warning, this podcast contains rain. Lots of it. Very much needed rain.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 8, Grotesque. I'm your host, Cleo, and with me I have John and Dom.
I don't know how to do this. I've been here a while.
What?
What?
It's been what John's trying to say is it's been a while since
It's been a long time.
And see, I think this episode was perfect for coming back to because you're kind of lost and confused and like what the hell was going on before we left, and then it's hey, so Nick is very lost and confused and we're kind of catching up a little bit. So I think it was
I'm not sure he's really confused. Well, he definitely gets lost.
Yeah, but I mean it's I don't want to say confused as like complete, like, you know, it's not, it's more of confused of where his place is right now, you know.
Yes.
It's not confused of what is going on. It's just he doesn't know where he fits in, and it's kind of more of the same with Nick, you know, like he felt that way before the zombie apocalypse, and then he hit this stride where he was the only one that fucking knew where he fit in, and now he's kind of back to not knowing where he fits in again. So yeah,
this was definitely the Nick episode.
Yeah.
Well, literally, there was no one else.
Yeah.
From the main cast besides flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all we got was Maddie from those flashbacks.
A very
and girlfriend.
Important scene.
Well, she's not
Maddie.
A main character. Yeah.
You know. But yeah. Now we found out how she died.
Yeah. Well,
oh, yeah.
Well, not Maddie. Not Maddie, his girlfriend.
Yeah. No, yes. The rehab lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see this I liked this episode. I did. I think as a mid-season premiere, though, maybe not the strongest choice.
I would agree, except this show, and obviously the main series, has such a huge following that they can get away with and afford to pull episodes like this out of their ass for a premiere, and it's not going to affect them at all in terms of I'm not watching the show anymore. If any other show did it, they wouldn't be able to get away with it.
This felt like episode 2 or 3 to me. Like this could have been sandwiched in a little bit to the mid-season. I don't know. Like I enjoyed it, but it was just like I was kind of bored.
For me,
and here's the thing.
It was just like a welcome back kind of like let's take this a little slow and get you caught back up to speed and find out what Nick's been doing before we throw at you where the hell everybody else went. You know, it's just here's one character to focus on, get your bearings, get caught back up, and then we'll get on this ride again.
So I thought of a lot of different things, like how I thought this episode could have been not better, because I love the episode, but like more of a mid-season premiere. And I was like, okay, maybe they could have cut some of the more boring stuff. But it's like, no, wait, that was necessary. There was no scene in this that wasn't necessary. And then I was like, maybe it'd be the second episode. But then it's like, no, this is setting up stuff for the rest of the half of this season. This had to be first, so it's like it all comes back to this was the necessary first episode.
Yeah.
So.
And I just love, like, we're kind of in the unknown what's going on with the main cast right now, and it's like they left off, and Nick seemed like he was in the shittiest spot of all of them, and it looked that way even through this entire episode. But in the end, I think Nick ended up better than all of them.
I think we're gonna talk about where he ends up at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I agree with you.
No.
See, I'm getting all mad about it.
You're furious. I see. Like you're Incredible Hulking, but in red.
Well, there is a Red Hulk, so
yeah.
So we start off with, and when I was writing notes while I was watching the episode, I wrote we have no context for this lady, and then I just ended up started referring to her as no context lady.
Okay.
Because I don't think they said her name, and then if they did, she was only in the beginning of the episode.
Well, she was, I guess, just at the house with, the whole crazy people plan.
I was watching the episode, like, I started off watching it, and then, like, it got up to the point where, like, Nick pats the kid on the head, and, like, they get in the car, and I'm just like, did I fucking miss something? Like, what the hell? I actually rewound it and watched it again, and I was like,
didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't miss a single thing, but what the hell is going on?
Exactly why I started referring to her as no context lady.
Who are you? Who's this kid?
We get nothing.
Put that ball away. Who are you?
But her conversation with Nick is really interesting because she mentions like people who are more sympathetic to the dead, and it's not the first time in this episode that we kind of hear about like, oh, there might be other people out there who see the dead as not just an enemy, but as like something that as still people.
Don't forget, this is taking place in Mexico, and in Mexican and Spanish cultures, there is so much emphasis on honoring the dead.
Yes, exactly.
And I think this is, for a while, I was like, why Mexico? Like, when we first started, and I was like, that's such a weird choice to take this series in, and it's just making more and more sense as it goes on.
Yeah, it really is. And I think we talked about, before we knew what was happening in the first season, we were like, oh, the desert would be such an interesting place, and we find ourselves in the desert. We find Nick in the desert, and he's in the zombie apocalypse. So it is very interesting. Yeah. So Nick's just walking.
This show's already covered like everything that you've ever thought about. That they need to just go to the desert and hide. They should just get on a boat. Let's. Zombie President Trump just got elected. Let's move to Mexico. Like, I'm just.
Why not?
I'm just whatever. But you know what I mean. They've done everything. Everything that you've ever thought of. Mm. See, I mentioned Trump and Cleo's furious.
Desert Island. They haven't done Desert Island.
Deserted Island, yeah.
It's coming.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Did the lighthouse?
I'm sailing.
Yeah. Did the lighthouse? That's kind of an island.
Yeah, but it wasn't deserted.
But there was dessert.
There were people.
Someone had snack cakes in the fridge.
Yeah. So Nick's traveling north to Tijuana. He doesn't really say why, does he? It's just where he wants to go.
I don't know if
the people who like the dead are.
If I was wandering and I like got myself lost and I saw a sign that said New York in a zombie apocalypse, that's just a name that sticks out that I'd just instantly be gravitated to go there as opposed to somewhere I didn't. Even if I had never been to New York, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm walking around in Mexico and I see a sign that clearly says Tijuana, I'm gonna be like, I know that name. I'm gonna go there. Just like,
John, no context lady said that, right? That there are dead sympathizers up there. That's right.
Head over the mountain that looks like a lady.
A lady's back.
Right.
Like, that's a weird way to describe a mountain.
Well, but like my thought was like, why would you go back north? Because that's closer to the border, and there's going to be more. I mean, obviously more people, but potentially more zombies and more bad things. More roving gangs of maniacs. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel
like the Three Chodes.
Yeah, the Three Chodes. I don't know. I just feel like the north is less safe. Yeah, we talk about Chodes.
Those guys.
Yeah, well, I think Nick is not concerned about safety. I think he's very confident he can survive it. I think if he thinks if he can just get to the place where people see the dead as something more, then he'll be okay.
Can you explain to me what the hell was going on with those guys? Like, I know that they were like scavenging and doing things like that, and then they chase Nick down and he gets away, and then Nick's in the like. what the hell were they doing just standing there? Like, how did they get eaten by zombies? Like, I don't know what the hell.
There was no reason for them to die. I don't get it.
Okay. They're like the Mexican equivalent of white trash rednecks.
Okay.
You know, the apocalypse hits and they're like, let's grab the guns, let's shoot some things. Like they're I mean, sure, maybe they're looking for supplies, but they really just want to shoot shit.
Okay.
They don't give a crap. They thought they were going to stand there and mow all of the zombies down, and then they got trampled. But I think part of it was also
just leave.
That one guy left the other two.
No, but why did they leave? They could have just I'm not going to reload my gun. I don't need all these bullets. Bye.
I don't know. He made bad decisions. He saw Nick. He freaked out. He dropped his bullets and made bad decisions. I don't know why the other one didn't just get. I guess the other one thought he was covering for him or something.
You're getting so mad at their bad decisions. But he sees Nick. But how do you know Nick's not a zombie at this point? Like, he's covered in blood. He's all that stuff. He's panicking. Like, to me, it was like he saw him and it was like, oh my god, he's alive and walking with the zombies, right? I don't think that is what he saw, though. I think he just saw, I know this guy, I just saw him, and now he's dead with this horde of, whatever. I don't think he knew that Nick was, functioning.
I think he did. I think he saw eyes that were not dead staring back at him. Like, none of the zombies actually look you in the eye. Nick was staring at him in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knew Nick was not dead. I think he thought he was like a sorcerer or something.
He's the queen of the damned.
Like a necromancer or something. So yes. I think he definitely knew that Nick was not dead.
So that explains how the guy with the revolver died. But
yeah,
how the hell did the other guy?
I think the other guy was just trying to cover his friend.
I'll save you.
And he did a really shitty job. Cause
he had an AK, didn't he?
I know, dude's got a machine gun, and he's still just one bullet per zombie. It's like, dude, you can unload a little bit. Try.
And Nick just standing there while everything is getting mowed down in front of him. He's just standing there walking.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So I think this was not just Nick's journey to get to this place. This is also revealing how Nick sees this world. And there's something about the walkers eating the dogs, the walkers eating these guys that shot at him, Nick's enemies. These walkers are eating his enemies. They are his friends, his family, and the zombies are eating people who have crossed him. And I think he sees that as
I am rewarded for my faith.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think that's what it is. Because he gets that smirk. When the dogs got torn apart and when the dudes got torn apart, he had that weird little smile. And I'm like, oh, no, Nick. Ooh, that don't feel too good.
I have a question. What?
Yeah.
So what happens when the inevitable scenario occurs when Nick's zombies are our friends, and it's they're charging at his family?
Yeah.
What do you do now, Nick? They're gonna kill your family. What the fuck? I don't know.
And I mean,
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, that's a possibility of that happening. But what I see more is the dead. I see them not being fooled by him anymore. I see them charging him. And I think that's when he's going to have to make this decision of whether he really cares about the dead or he cares about his own life.
He's not Chris, though. Keep that in mind. He's
not
a fucking psycho killer, so I don't think he's going to put his family in jeopardy.
No, it's just would be an interesting scenario, I think, just to see what.
Yeah.
Guys, just cover yourself in blood. It'll be really cool.
Well, I mean, and you're so easily just painting Chris as the psycho killer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
You don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Sure I do.
We'll just talk to David Byrne about it. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to most this next half of the season is
Yeah.
the father son try not to murder people road trip.
Road trip.
Travis. It's a road trip. They're in a car.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. This is the Nick episode. We're talking about Nick. Yeah, no, I don't know, I think the way Nick sees the walkers is dangerous. At least how he sees them right now.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It is what it is.
because now he's like. I mean, obviously he's among people now. Like he stumbled into, once he found some mercs, as it were. We're all like, "How'd you control the dead? How'd you fucking do that?" Whatever. Like he's among people now. So like, would he jeopardize that town for the sake of his precious zombies? Like, I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how he's ever gonna be able to be around people.
We don't know anything about this town yet. I think this is the town of dead sympathizers. I think this is a town that values the walkers.
It's a town in The Walking Dead that everything looks blissful in. What could go wrong?
Oh yeah.
What could go wrong?
They have the we don't I'm searching in my brain for something to call this town and I have no idea. But they've got walls. They've got the sheet walls like Alexandria has. They're a very similar town to Alexandria, I feel. Mm-hmm. And Alexandria didn't turn out to be roses.
Sure.
Well, and there's like a market too. Like there's just like an old Mexican street market just popped up in the middle there. So it's like, you want to buy a TV, dude? It doesn't work, but you
have it. It's a nice statement.
TV, man. Want some hubcaps for the car you don't have? Sick.
Sick. Excuse me. Well, we get. You're right. The only two, people from this town we really get to meet are Luciana and the doctor, and they both seem really super rad and cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to learn more about Luciana. I honestly hope she doesn't speak English at all. I hope it's just Spanish.
That'd be fine.
Yeah. Because it definitely seems like right now the doctor is the only one who speaks English in this town.
Yeah.
Which I'd be totally cool with if everyone else just spoke Spanish.
Yeah, no, I love the language barrier. I think it adds a much bigger dynamic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And the 5 words that Nick knows from high school Spanish.
Pero.
Yeah, came into play.
Agua, por favor.
Yeah. Literally 4 words he used with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh god, no, it's a dog. It's a dog. What's the word for dog in Spanish?
I'm surprised I believed him. I'd lie and say it was a dog.
Would you? That's a shitty thing to do.
Yes.
John just wants to eat them for dinner later.
Yeah, if it just benefits me in the short term, who gives a shit?
If it lets me live another 20 minutes, fine. Sounds good to me.
Take 20 minutes.
20 minutes is 20 minutes.
It's 20 more minutes of knowing that, like, fucking all my favorite bands still exist in some form or another. Zombie or not. Like,
well, and
it's an apocalypse, so Rush is probably fine.
Dead Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Slash is with his guitar just, bashing in.
They're still, they're never gonna.
Don't say never.
Blew up and play. This world didn't live to see the fucking Guns N' Roses reunion. How much does that suck?
Oh shit, you're right.
That sucks.
Oh shit, you're right.
It's a damn shame. No, you know what? Somewhere out there in the world, Guns N' Roses actually got back together and just playing a concert to no one.
When theoretically, I don't mean an exact day. I know we discussed this at one point, but when does this take place? Like what year-ish?
2012.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 was sticking out of my head too.
Okay, so unfortunately, they did get to meet Justin Bieber. Okay, that's really all I was going with that.
Wait.
Ooh.
No, it might be 2010.
Still, they met Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Either way.
Either way, the world is
Let's
worse
unleash
off.
that population onto this planet. So love you, beeps.
Shit, I was gonna say something.
Are you a believer?
Is it about the... No.
Dogs.
Is it about the doctor? Shit.
The
He's
bands.
good at stuff.
We were talking about the Spanish language barrier before.
Yeah.
We went on music topic. I don't know. Guns N' Roses. I don't know what it.
Nah,
what
never
triggered.
mind. It's okay. I don't remember.
Okay.
Fawns. Should we talk about the
Something Nick
flashbacks?
said. Huh?
Should we talk about the flashbacks?
Yes, I want to finish up with the doctor though.
No.
Okay. Something Nick said to the doctor really stuck out to me. Is like, I want to be where the dead aren't monsters.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much his mission statement.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that was very.
The doctor kind of just smiled. Was like, "Okay, crazy person, we'll get you some Percocet and get you right on the on your."
Percocet does the trick. But yeah, I don't know, because he sort of does like do a knowing nod, like, yeah, don't worry, man. I think you're in the right place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this place is gonna be like the dead acceptance place he's looking for, but it might not be exactly what he thought it was.
Could be.
Go good.
I don't know. You could totally buy some sick wind chimes though.
Oh, sick wind chimes.
Sweetest of wind chimes.
So
And you can play soccer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the soccer you want. So this, there were a lot of flashbacks this episode of Nick while he was in rehab, and it seemed like every scene came back around to Nick's dad, and I think his dad's death is a big factor to how he sees the walkers now. I think his dad's death had an impact like that on him.
I guess, yeah, because I mean, obviously, his dad's death was a big cause of his relapse from the beginning of season 1. You know, where his girlfriend fortunately OD'd, zombied, whatever.
She relapsed too. I'm curious.
Why she did as well.
Yeah, like that would have been more interesting to me to figure out how that happened too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get that at some point, but I feel like they kind of did her story now, and they're going to be done with it because we never expected them to go back and touch on that.
No, not at all.
So
like that first scene, I was like, hold on, is that drug den?
And then I
chick?
googled drug den zombie lady from the drug den and Fear the Walking Dead, and it was like, yep.
That's
Thanks,
her.
Google, that's her.
Nailed it.
So, that was pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, I feel it can happen that just because Nick started like spiraling downward, she would just go with him. I wouldn't be too surprised if that was really the only reason, but he clearly had issues to work out with his father that
he never got to. Yeah,
that sucks. So maybe maybe to bounce off of what Chrissy was saying, like he's this whole almost communing with the dead is a sort of a way to kind of talk to his father again. Like maybe it'll give him some kind of conduit to.
Now, just out of curiosity, in these flashbacks, when the news was broken to him, is that when he was supposed to be picked up to come home?
No.
I think it was just the meeting where he was supposed to confront his parents.
Okay.
Like that they were prepping for.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think he was supposed to go home yet.
No.
But knowing him, he probably like broke out or just left.
Yeah, I think that's really what it feels like. It feels like he just left.
And then just, wound up in that church.
I don't know. His parents didn't seem surprised that, he was out and about. It seemed like it was, like he just disappeared again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been because a good amount of time had to have passed because Maddie started dating Travis.
She had to meet Travis, yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably a few years there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But still, then we know Dad, just wasn't a drug addict. He just checked out.
No. Well, my theory still holds that it was Maddie who had an addiction problem. I don't think it was drugs. It might have been
probably.
alcohol. Because Maddie did go on about her father, how her father was abusive, and probably an alcoholic.
Yeah, and that would make sense why the husband may have checked out, because he's sick of his drunk ass wife or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of family dynamics I still think we need to explore, but I'm glad we're finally getting to it. I was really happy to get some family backstory.
Yeah, because it's like you look at the main Walking Dead series. When do you ever really get flashbacks? From characters beforehand. Like, every once in a while we'll get like the
Michonne?
This is where Morgan was. Like during this time, and we had that one thing with Michonne, but every once in a while we'll get a this happened X amount of days ago kind of thing, but it's never this happened before the apocalypse.
Yeah, usually we don't see that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So I never really expected them to go back and touch on any of it other than in the form of dialogue.
Yeah, this is definitely a much different show. Much more different show than The Walking Dead. And I think that they want to give this family dynamic, but not have it come out through exposition. Like, they want to show us rather than tell us. Which I think for something like unspoken family dynamics is what you need to do.
Yep.
So, I'm a fan. Oh, there's something I forgot to mention from earlier when Nick is looking through the cars. He tries to hold the hand of the zombie that's trying to eat him. Yeah, and I think that's another clue to how he sees these walkers as his friends, and how he wants to connect with them.
Yeah, and he grabs the radio and he's just like, "Come on, don't bite me,"
come on, just. Yeah, no, it's weird and awesome. I'd love to see more, and we're gonna see more because we didn't see much of the town, but towns in The Walking Dead, none of them are ever normal.
They're all fucking rainbows and unicorns.
Oh yes,
crazy.
Yeah. God, there have been a lot of very weird towns in these shows.
I think
one after the other.
They're all normal.
I'm trying to think if there's been anyone that's been okay, but really no.
And the ones that have been okay get bombed, or burnt, or ravaged.
Or you set Herschel's barn on fire, and then you have to leave.
Exactly.
That wasn't a town.
But it was a community.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just, Herschel. If it was just Herschel and his family, but it was their neighbors were living there too. It's their extended family was living there too.
Just want to throw it out there that medical professionals on this show have a really terrible track record. So I can't wait till, this doctor gets fucking axed in the face. It's going to be great.
I hope he literally gets axed in the face now so it could be like, John, you called that shit.
Called it. I don't know. I really like this doctor. I hope good things come from him.
I mean, he probably smokes cigars and he's probably great with a machete, but he's probably going to die because he's a doctor.
I mean, look on The Walking Dead, though, how long Father Gabriel stuck around, and we never thought he'd last as long.
No, and I'm so happy that he has.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
This doctor may pull through.
Hope so. He's a cool guy.
Yep. All right, that's all I've got. You guys got anything else for this episode before I read the synopsis?
No. I'm just like I said, I wasn't super excited with this episode, so to speak, but it did a lot of setting the tone to just kind of relax and chill out, and here's getting us back into the action,
Yeah, exactly. And no matter how I sliced it, no matter how I was maybe it could have been improved this way, this was the perfect episode. This had to happen first.
Yeah.
Oh, gratuitous shots of the sun every time we came back from commercial.
That's because the sun is literally killing you.
Hey, head.
Oh, and it's something I didn't notice until the rain washed away all the blood, but Nick had some rigorous farmer stand. Walking 100 miles in the desert sun would do that to you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
next episode.
His face is still not wildly unkept. Like.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
doesn't
has
really grow
grown a
facial hair.
massive beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been shaving himself with rocks in the desert, right?
Yeah. He's got a little.
Or the cactus that.
Oh yeah, with the cactus. Ugh.
That made me not want to eat a cactus.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'll just eat the thorns instead.
I don't think that'll be any better for you. Madison, next episode is called Los Muertos. Madison's friend and the others move forward after the compound fails. Nick gets picked for a dangerous assignment. Descriptive as always, thank you. Walking Dead.
It's better than some of the Walking Dead ones have been.
You're right.
The group faces difficulties, town, like,
Well, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah.
So just so Cleo, because you asked me before, and we just moved on. Qu'est-ce que c'est actually literally means it is what it is. That's what
yes.
Qu'est-ce que c'est means.
Yes. It's been a long time since I took French. I couldn't remember myself.
I took French in elementary school. That's the last time I took it. So
apparently it's stuck.
John, where can people find you?
You can find me, I guess, at No More on Twitter. I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah. Dom, where can people find you?
Find me down below at this. I'm not gonna say it.
Do.
Damn it!
No. Never not gonna do it. Never not.
Never not.
You can find me at Cleomoto. What?
That's a double negative, which means
never not. It means I will always. Double negative is proof positive. You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. And you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+. And right here on YouTube, follow us for some more podcasts of some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Toodles.
I'm gonna go eat a cactus. I'll be right back.
Have fun.